Good evening, I'm Earl Gibbs, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. And with me this evening is a lady that was here some time back, and I invited her back to speak about the problems she had at that time, and it's none other than Miss Jenkins. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you for having me again.
And good to have you back in the program. It's been a while. It was, what,
Too long.
7 years ago?
7 years.
It's a long time.
Yep, getting older.
And we all getting older, older, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to have you here because at the time when I had you in the program, you had a problem with eviction on the French side of the island.
Yeah.
And what has happened since that time?
Well, it was a very serious, you could say, scandal, because I'm not French and I didn't understand what was going on. But since 13th of July 2011, a date never to be forgotten, I have played detective.
Really?
It's taken 6 years, 7 years, but I've won. Now I'm going to continue on because I discovered really what went on. It was illegal, the whole thing. Nobody had any authority to do it, as declared in the courthouse as well. So it was all fiddled, and it was simply because I had discovered some very bad things that one of the notaries was doing. But he's a powerful person, and I'm only a little old foreign lady. So they got together to do everything against me. And I've learnt some French now. I've had to, reading and writing. And I was quite determined. A friend put everything on Facebook, which sometimes is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But he did. Photos, documents, everything. And of course, the gendarmes that did the illegal eviction, they had no document at the door. They had no authority to do it. And they did not show any document. So it was just a cover-up.
Let's go back a little bit because it's good to go back. When you came here some years ago to speak about that eviction, you were staying at where?
I lived in the residence Les Jardins de Benyetlé, which is a horror story now, just nothing. It was totally destroyed.
But the condition of the place that you were staying was not that
No, it was
great.
bad then,
Yeah.
But now, because the hurricane has gone over it, the waves went over the buildings, it's still like it was the day of Hurricane Irma, the day after.
So no one's living there now?
No one's done any, no, it's just totally destroyed.
But you was living there at the time when you came in the program to speak about the eviction?
Yeah, we were evicted. And we ended up, because it was all illegal, and I didn't know what they were really up to, we ended up being placed in a hotel for almost 3 years. And my poor children, you know, they were the victims in this whole thing because they're innocent. They didn't have any, I was ignorant. I didn't.
Why were they evicting you?
Well, it was an illegal logement, declared insalubre, which is unfit for habitation, because it was an old hotel studio, which is a French thing where the hotel is run as a hotel for 10 years, and then it's sold as little apartments. But inside there, 17 out of the apartments of 35 are owned by the notary and his family. I had 10 different names for, what do you call them, bailleurs, renters, owners. So I started sniffing around, and they didn't like me sniffing around. And when I went on the 12th of July to declare that we're in danger of electrocution, confirmed by everyone, but covered up, they didn't like that. So that complaint was thrown in the garbage bin. It never went anywhere. And the detective that took the complaint actually said, I'll come tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and take photos of every infraction, every criminal act. But instead of 10 o'clock him coming, 8 o'clock, 3 gendarmes, armed, and 2 other men, no papers, no documents, banged on the door. I think they kicked the door, actually, and I opened it. They charged in, shoved me out of the way, screaming at my children to get out, get bags, go, it's finished for us now, get out. No document, nothing. And we didn't even have, we had, 10 minutes to grab what we could, and we were thrown outside with nothing, not even our passports. Unfortunately, I called a friend, and she came with a journalist who took photos, and he was threatened.
Oh, this was 2011?
Yeah. 13th of July, 2011. So instead of 10 o'clock, the detective coming to take photos of the disgusting apartment. 8 o'clock, these other people came and threw us out.
But were you
like
paying
animals?
Were you paying rent at the time?
I had been, but it was stopped because of the system of the CAS.
Yeah.
They won't pay you if it's unsolicited. It's a vicious circle, goes round and round like this.
So you couldn't pay your rent?
Yeah. And we couldn't get any insurance claim on it because there was a fire, because, you know, they're doing the same thing.
That fire that you mentioned now, it was only in your unit or in other parts of it?
Yeah, because they'd never, ever, ever repaired that apartment. Since 1997, when I moved in with 2 little babies, they fiddled everything. They said that I didn't declare that there would be 3 people. Well, guess what? Babies grow up, don't they? They become people. And no one would ever tell me how you get repairs done. So the old stove, dated from 1986, exploded, and we had a fire, and they refused to take my complaint. So that part of it all ended up very nasty. So when I got this eviction, I started finding out why. And on Facebook, I discovered why. Various things that had happened. This magical thing called Facebook. But you become bold on Facebook too. So I started a page, and I put everything. I couldn't get justice in the courthouse, so, because I'm a foreigner, so I put on Facebook, World Courthouse.
But you say you're originally from Australia?
Yeah, I'm from Australia.
But you're living on the French side where 2 daughters were born in St. Martin?
Yeah, they're French too. They're French and Australian.
So
they have rights.
Right. So, but
they have rights.
You don't carry a French passport?
No, I have a French residency permit.
Okay. All right.
I could get a French passport now, but originally I wasn't allowed to because I'm not born French. I'm born Australian. I grew up in Australia, but I cannot apply and have 2 passports. That was the Australian law. I think may have changed now.
Okay.
So I was told I could apply for a French passport, but documents-wise, I need the birth and death certificates of my grandparents.
Oh,
you know?
okay. So, but
anyway.
you've been living in St. Martin for many years.
Yeah, I look like it too, don't I?
Yeah. You're 25 years, right? Yes.
25 years. I came
you're
for 2
local
weeks.
now.
I came for 2 weeks. I came to visit a friend called Dr. Richard Clement, who's just been here for the first time in 20 years.
Really? Where is he now?
He's in Miami.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
nice guy.
Yeah, he's funny. He came to visit, so it was sort of like going back in time with him.
So is he still practicing or he retired?
Yeah, he's practicing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, doctors don't retire.
Okay, that's true.
They die before they retire. My father was a doctor.
But
anyway, so then what happened? I learned some French. I can write some French. And I was sniffing out everything, so I found out. But they don't like it if you expose the truth.
You was really like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I am. They hate me. Everyone hates me on the French side. I don't care. When you have the truth in you, it gives you a strange strength. Because I can tell you, they invented criminal charges against me.
Really?
By sneaking into my Facebook account, changing my phone number to one of theirs, deleting words, inserting commas, and I found it all out, and they didn't like it. So they invented criminal charges. First of all, defamation, and when I showed that it wasn't defamation, because the truth is not, they changed it to a thing called outrage, which is a very profitable crime for the one that's accusing you. But it was 2 gendarmes, one that did the eviction and the other one that refused to take my complaints after we lost everything. So they invented these criminal charges. In the court, I couldn't get a lawyer. In the court, this little judge said to me,
you're on a small island, it's hard to get a lawyer.
Impossible in St. Martin, because they're all, you know. Anyway, and when everybody wants to be on the right side of the gendarmes, so they hate me because I'm not.
Yeah.
So anyway, I persisted, and the judge said to me, I will judge you, I want to judge you, and I will make a judgment against you because you're tellement difficile. I'm really difficult. So he wanted to make a judgment.
But that's the reason why I said earlier, to them you were like a pain in the ass because you was here in this program and you never gave up.
No, and I'm never giving up. Winston Churchill's slogan, never, ever, ever give up. So they invented these charges, and when they fiddled everything. Can you imagine a judge I grew up where my father's best friend was a Supreme Court judge, and we were terrified of him because, you know, he's a judge in the court with the whole wig and the...
Right.
So to know that a judge could alter the truth deliberately just was mind-boggling to me. So I wasn't in the court, but when I got the judgment, I read, they changed everything. They deleted words, they added commas, they changed everything. And I've become, heck, I'm not going to accept this. So when I got the judgment, the lawyer that the judge had chosen was his friend.
Oh boy.
So when I got to Bastia, I walked in there determined, and security guards, they condemned me. They wanted to put me in prison. For what? I've never had a parking ticket. So when I went to Bastia, I walked in, there's 3 judges at the thing screaming at me. I said, why are you screaming? And he read out this, why are you appealing this judgment, Madame Jenkins? I said, because the judge on St. Martin lied. He went, judges don't lie. I said, sure they do. Here's the proof. He had altered the date of the audience, 7th of November to the 5th of December 2013, when he wasn't even on St. Martin. So I said to these 3 judges, he wasn't even on St. Martin. He was here in your courthouse. And that's when the judge went crazy. He said, j'ai mal à la tête. I need 30 minutes pause. I said, I don't need 30 minutes pause. He said, I do. And in that 30 minutes, he went inside to the back room with 2 people and the prosecutor. They discovered I told the truth. So he came back out, and bam, bam, that judgment was cancelled. Null, the judgment, because the judge on St. Martin changed the date of the audience, changed the name of the reporter, changed the evidence, and I had the proof he did all of that.
And all that was done in Marigot?
Yes.
Wow.
So I persisted, and this judge, he hated me, he hated me, he hated me. But now it's even more suspicious because I filed a complaint against him with the prosecutor in Bastia. I got a letter back. He rejected my complaint, writing that the audience was indeed on the 5th of December 2013, and it wasn't. So he falsified the evidence too. I went to the Court Appel, the Premier President. I think they were telephoning around the court saying, look out, here she comes, here she comes, here she comes. So by the time I got to his cabinet, he slammed the door shut and wouldn't let me in. And his secretary came out and said, what do you want? I said, I just won a court case where the judge on St. Martin committed basically fraud. It's fraud if a judge doesn't write the truth. And she said, we're not going to help you. Go. I went, well, that's called, I think, obstruction of justice, isn't it? And since then, well, he has gone. He's gone to Corsica. I contacted everyone, President Macron, the head of the gendarmes, the President of the Court Appel, the Minister Interior, the Minister of Justice. They've all blocked me. They refuse to help. So I'm still in my combat because the truth has to win, and it did. But by now, I said as well, damages, please. I've had to pay 3 times to go back and forth to Guadeloupe. He said, it's too late. So far, the judge has got away with what he did, and the gendarmes. It's bad, isn't it?
So where you now?
Still fighting them.
Really?
I'm not going to give up, yeah, because now I've got another page on Facebook. And I've got lots of supporters because now what they're called, I didn't realize I would be one, whistleblowers.
But you know, they claim at the time, because when they said, no, she's crazy, don't worry about it.
They all say that. She's crazy.
You heard that?
No, I didn't hear that, but everyone tells me that all the time.
So is it because you're so determined?
Yes. Now I'm reading because there's a lady who's just involved in the UBS scandal. She started it, and she's befriended me. I've got another one who was involved in the assassination of a prefet, and they've told me they'll hate you because they don't like it if you're finding out what they really were doing.
I'll tell you what, hold that thought. I have to go to a commercial break, all right?
Okay.
We're going to be right back right here on Speaking of Everything. Please stay with us.
SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.
And welcome back to Speaking of Everything. I'm here speaking with Ms. Jenkins. She's my guest on the program this evening. And we speak with her about her problems on the French side. So December of 2015 was the verdict that you won.
It was thrown out. And I should be awarded damages. That's the normal case. But of course,
when you say you should be awarded damages, did you claim damages?
Yes. I put in to get another lawyer to assist me. But of course, they even used dates of posting to block that. And then when I sent the letter, the nullity, I've got the judgment where it says null of the judgment, and the two gendarmes were dismissed of their claims. And that's when I said to the judge, because it's a fraud, if they accuse you wrongly of something using a fraud, it's very serious. But they won't do anything, I guess, because I'm a foreigner. But now,
all of this happened because of an eviction.
Yes, because I found out why.
You found out why you were being evicted, and
yeah, they don't like it. I even said to the judge, I grew up in Australia in a little school. Our school uniform had a blazer with a slogan here, and in every classroom, above the blackboard, and our school song was "Suivez la vérité." I said to the judge, why don't you suivez la vérité? He didn't like it. But I sent all the documents to, if you look at this, this is a reply from General, I won't say his name, in Guadeloupe. I sent him the judgments, I sent him the fraud committed by the judge and the gendarmes, and his reply, I have to put the glasses on. His reply says, Madam, it's in French, but I'll tell you. I received your letter on the 3rd of December 2017, in which you're bringing to my knowledge about the acts of fraud and altering of the truth that you were a victim of in 2013. He said, I really studied very hard your papers, and I find that there's nothing there. The same documents that the judges in Court Appel in Bastia saw and threw out the case, cancelled the whole thing. So to me, it's very serious. And as well, it's not right, because I didn't do anything. And the real victims were two little girls with what happened.
So now it's when you go back now, from December 15th to now, you still feel that you should be awarded damages,
yes,
you're saying?
Of course. Because we were illegally evicted, and they know that. But they intimidate, especially when you're a woman. I'm a woman, but I'm also not French. So can you imagine when they came with these documents accusing me of everything, and they even crossed out the wrong names, and he refused to initial the documents that he crossed the wrong. And then he went over to my daughter and did this. He said, did the gendarme do this at the door, hold up a document and show your mother a document on the day of eviction? And my daughter said no. The two gendarmes looked at each other in silence and ran away, and that's when they changed the diffamation to outrage, because I had the truth. They used the same number, PV number, changed the date and swapped the names, and also altered the evidence. So it's really, really very serious. But
if you look at where we are now, okay, today now you're still in St. Martin, and December this year will make 3 years since that ruling. And what are you doing? How are you surviving?
Well, that's where it's really grim, because I used to work at the Butterfly Farm as a guide, and I had a job. Wasn't my fault that the Hurricane Irma came here and blew out the Butterfly Farm. It's not going to be rebuilt, so I've lost my job. Now, on the French system, I should have what's called the chômage, unemployment benefits. And up until this month, I was paid enough to survive on, just survive. And this month, because I'm an old woman, too old to work, as one woman at the Pôle emploi said, we don't have jobs for seniors. I find that quite insulting. Now, today I was just there, they said, you're 65 and 9 months, so we're stopping your chômage because you're supposed to have your retraite. The retraite haven't done, the pension haven't done their business. So right now, at this moment, I have zero to live off. And it's a serious worry. So I went to someone today. Tomorrow I'm going to another office to see what can be done, because it's not I didn't intentionally stop working. I would still be working. But now, because, and you know, I was called white trash the other day by a woman at one of the offices in Marigot.
Why would they say that?
White trash. Oh, because they all hate me. They do. They do. They don't like people that have the truth. Today she was ready again. But you know, they also don't like it when they're found out at what they're doing at all. So, but at this moment, it's a serious worry, because I've received a letter of, again, a threat from where we're living, which means, and I know their game now, you know, another eviction, maybe.
So you think that they'll evict you from where you're living now?
They're doing everything deliberately again against me. Some woman after the hurricane, she said, why do you stay here? Go. We don't want you here. Go. And actually, I would like to leave, but where do you go when you haven't got any funds to go? Because in Australia, I'm not too old. I could work as a pharmacist. That's my profession. But I've been squashed here and made to feel very, very bad when I haven't done anything at all to warrant their hatred. And for someone to call me white trash, if I'd insulted her as saying something, the gendarmes would have been there and arrested me, and I would be the one charged. But no, she can get away with it. I wrote to Mr. Gibbs, the
president.
Yep, and he's never replied. And another person I know has told me the same thing. This one woman at the Pôle Solidarité and Famille is just like that. She's just nasty to everyone. She doesn't like white people, I guess.
And that's not nice at all. That's very racist.
And it's not warranted. Yeah. I couldn't say the same thing referring to her colour and get away with it. She's even shoved at the Super U. I was reading a bottle of directions, cleaning directions. I felt, whoa, what was that? My trolley was shoved into my leg. I turned around, it was her again. She works for the collectivity. And she said, he, the father of my children, didn't feed you to the sharks, we will.
So you didn't file a complaint against
I have. I went to, what's the name, Aid to Victims.
Yeah.
I'm going again. But they don't do any, the trouble is here as well, if they don't like you, the complaints just get thrown in the bin. And I have the proof of that too, because when I found out that they went inside my account, I have the proof.
Your Facebook account?
Yes, I have the proof. I filed a complaint because 2 cyclists put their photo on my profile. And the cyclists, now playing my detective work, one is the wife of a gendarme, looks like her, and the other one is a gendarme. I filed the complaint, I went to Bastia and I went into the parquet, whatever, the criminal section, and he said to me, you're not meant to be in here. I said, I'm in here. Where is this complaint? And I showed, where is the complaint against the judge? Didn't have them.
Wow.
So where do they go to?
I'll tell you what, we have to go to a quick break. We're going to be right back.
Okay.
Please stay with us.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGE.
Welcome back to Speaking of Everything. I'm here with Pamela Jenkins, and we speak with her about problems. You know, it's amazing that you had to go through all of this for so long, and also for people to be making racist statements towards you. I'm surprised at that.
But it's totally unwarranted. I haven't stolen anything. My crime is I've got 2 children with a local man, and whatever was wrong with that, I don't know. But I mean, for example, look, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you can hold it up with the camera.
That is the envelope of a woman who's supposed to be in charge of justice, a huissier. That's the envelope sent from the huissier in Benetlet. She sent me this. It's decorated, as you can see, with 10 cartoon stamps. One says, "I love to send you letters." And this woman was involved in the illegal eviction.
And when you received
Doesn't that say it all? Look at it, cartoon. I sent that to the prosecutor.
Yeah.
He laughed. He thought it was funny.
It's not funny coming from someone like that.
She told me, she came to the door, she said, "I'm going to throw you out on the street. You and your daughter. I will traumatize your children because of the notary, her friend. I will traumatize your children when the gendarmes come and break down your door and throw you on the streets." And she walked away and she said, "I can do it. I'm the justice. I'm Antillean, and you're just an evil foreigner." And that's her sending. I mean, that is criminal. You can't get away with something like that. But she has. And she's involved in everything that... it's like she's got a vendetta to do whatever. But I'm not giving up because the truth has to win.
So
it's hurtful.
So you're going to go back to court?
I don't know if I can. I've got a... What is curious now is because of this situation...
We only have about a minute and a half, yeah.
I will if I can. I have a judge in France who's been treated the same way as a judge. And he's in contact with me, as are a lot of victims of the injustice in France at the moment, which is grim because, I mean, heck almighty, what do you do?
And your daughters, where are your daughters?
For that, I've climbed Mount Everest. They've got their own strength and power because they're in France studying at university.
Okay.
And one succeeded extremely well with an honours degree, and the other one's going there too. So, as a single mother, I am very proud that whatever they've done to us, because it's hurt, they've got at me, so it has to have hurt my children. They've succeeded, and good for them.
But I see you, and you're looking good. You didn't let it really bring you down, which is good because I know you was really...
I've been through the...
You use a lot of your energy in this, right?
Well, I've got a heart condition. I think that's because my dad used to say when you're old, the parts need changing, like a car.
Well, I hope...
I'm determined. I really am determined.
And I think that made you a lot of enemies, your determination.
Oh, they hate me. They hate me. I think they wish me dead, but...
But let us know what happened because 7 years ago you was here, and now we understand that you had that verdict in 2015 and still nothing. So
I guess the next step is a book, huh?
Yeah. So you let us know.
But I told the commandant once that he asked me why I had so many files. I said, because I'm going to write a book, but I won't do it while I'm here.
Right. Anyway, I want to thank you again for coming in, and let us know what happened and if you get through with everything, and at least
I will. Hopefully
they
it won't be another
compensate you for all your
7 years.
effort, right? Hopefully not.
I hope not.
Well,
I'll be really old.
Yeah. Well, take care. Thanks for coming. I wish you much
Thank you.
success.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much. Thank you.
And that's it for now. See you next time. Till then, good night. Take care. Bye.